I was recently asked if I have a favourite art book, and I couldn't actually narrow it down to one. I've got two favourite books, so I just thought I would show you those two today and tell you a little bit about why I like them so much. So the reason I like both of them is because they're great for referencing back to. So if I want to look something up, I can quickly go to these books. Now, the first one is Art the Whole Story, quite a weighty book as you can see. And the reason it's so weighty is because it starts prehistory and it goes right through. The last entry in it is 2006, and it goes through chronologically. And it covers all the movements. It tells you a little bit about the movements as well as about the individual artists, and it's got a lot of information in, and you can see there in each period of history it's got a timeline with all the different movements, so that it's very, very comprehensive. So in this one book you've got a mass of information, very clear photographs and pictures, and very concise and clear information. Now on each picture, so you can see we're coming through history here. It's difficult for me reading it upside down, but for each picture, or for most of the pictures, they actually break it down a little bit and talk about elements of the composition as well. So they talk about the artists, they talk about the paintings themselves and the movements. So let's see if we can find one that we all know to talk about. Okay, so Guernica. So you can see they've got the picture of the full painting here, and then down the side they've picked out little elements from the painting, and then they talk a little bit about why that's included and the symbolism behind it, and that's the same with others. There again you see, so it talks about individual elements of the painting. So fantastic reference. And you can see there at the bottom key events along the timeline, that's for minimalism, key dates. So much information in this one book, great for referring back to all the time. So that's the first one. I'm not sure where I bought that one from. It's got written on the back £19.95, that is, so I don't think I would have paid that for it. I'm assuming I probably bought it in a sale. And the second one isn't as weighty. It's Paintings That Change the World. This one we got in the National Gallery in London. My husband bought it for me on a trip out there. It's somewhere that we visit whenever we go to London, but it's nice to buy things when you're away from home because it reminds you of your trips, doesn't it? So that was one that we got in the National Gallery, and I can't just remember how much we paid for it. But it doesn't go chronologically like the first book. It focuses more on individual paintings, as the title would suggest, and why they think that they change the world. And it talks less about the artist and the artist's biographies really, and more about the painting and the history in what the actual scene, what's happening in the painting. So it makes quite a nice, quite good little sort of story with each painting. But the thing is, you get such fantastic pictures. You can see there full page for the painting itself, and then all this about what's going on there. And obviously with that one the story's quite well known and obvious, or maybe not so obvious. Yeah, and again look at the fantastic colours in these, very clear illustrations and notes. So a great book to refer to when you want to look up your favourite paintings and why the artist did what they did with the composition, etc. And of course, it's although it's not got the information in that the first book's got in, it has got the dates of the painting itself and the surface and the medium that's used there. Okay, so those are my two favourite books. I might go through some of my other books another day actually, because I do have an awful lot. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite books are, if you've got any that you can recommend to me that I should have. So yeah, I do think it's important. So both of those really focusing, they're not teaching books, they're not teaching you how to paint, they're focusing on art history and famous paintings, and I think it's a very important part of learning to draw and paint is looking at other artists' work. So visit galleries, visit exhibitions, see how people have done things, see how they've worked the composition, and you will learn a lot from that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I look forward to your comments below telling me about the books that you have at home, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, bye bye.